Good evening, and thank you for joining us on 4 FSU Weather. I'm Daniel McFarland.
I'm Cody Winter.
And Cody, we've had a really active couple days, haven't we?
Definitely. There has been pretty good cloud cover and a lot of rain coming our way for, these past couple days and even into, I think, Wednesday.
That's right. Like, even before today, I don't even know if I saw the sun at all this weekend.
No, well, if you don't like the sun, it's been a real treat for you the past couple days because we have really not seen anything. No blue skies, no nothing. Just nice cloud cover if you like that. So
yeah, thankfully we do have some drier conditions, thankfully, and we also do have some sun coming up some point this week.
Well, that will definitely be nice. It's just been, it's kind of reminded me of Seattle with all the cloud cover and all that.
Yeah, a little bit, right? With like all this rain all the time, and it's not like a really hard rain coming down, but it's, I don't know, kind of consistent, not really too heavy at times, right?
Yeah, if anyone ever told you Florida's sunny all the time, they're definitely lying because that is not the case.
That's true, because right now we're definitely seeing a lot of rain in our area. Not a whole lot of fun now, but thankfully that'll be clearing up, but those colder temperatures will be coming back pretty soon.
Oh yeah, it should cool down nice for Thanksgiving. I think it's going to drop a couple degrees, so that'll be nice. That'll come after the rain and everything passes through our area. So
that's right. The high on Thanksgiving is going to be about 63, so it's going to drop from now because we're now seeing what, like low 70s right now.
Yeah, I think low 70s. It was getting up there, which was unusual. But for right now, let's send it to the overview of Shane.
Thanks, guys. What we're looking at right now is the current radar for the region. We've got a lot of rain that's moved through the region today, and we can see it slide across Tallahassee right now. We're going to step out of the way so you can get a wider view of what's going on right now. We've got the southeast map here, and I want to point out to you this is associated with a cold front. Very clearly indicate here this thin band of rain that has soaked our region today because it's moving very slowly, really continuing to bring rainfall to the Big Bend right now. Now here's the headlines that we've got for you tonight. Tomorrow is the big travel day for Thanksgiving. Once we get done with class, we're on home. And it's going to be wet and cool. The high tomorrow is going to be about 10 or 15 degrees cooler than our current temperature right now. But we've got a sunny Thanksgiving in store for you with great weather this weekend when we play the Florida Gators. As for tonight in the capital, it's going to be 54 degrees. We're going to see a lot of rain moving in mainly after midnight. But for now, let's throw it back to the desk.
Thanks a lot, Shane. And we're we're nearing the end of November right now, and really the end of hurricane season is upon us. And as far as Tallahassee weather goes, I don't think we've really seen too much of active tropic weather here.
No, we haven't at all, which is great news. I don't think we haven't had one strong one come in over the past 10 years or so even. So we've been really lucky now that we're at the end of this hurricane season. We could say it was not very active, and they just keep getting better and better. I mean, really, you think about hurricanes, you want to say better and better, as in there's not a whole lot going on.
Yeah, definitely. Not a lot of heavy rainfall. Thankfully, not too many costly destructions that are associated with that with those kinds of storms. But not all the country has been so lucky. There was a lot of activity along the western coast, I believe.
Yeah, they saw a lot of storms develop there right off the coast of Mexico and kind of just curve on up and really dissipate, not really into a hurricane, but still a lot of stronger storms came in during summer.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and send it over to Matthew.
All right, thank you so much, guys. It's good to be back on campus again. If you're tuning in on campus, we're here back on 78.1. But if you are on campus, you better watch out because see this rain over here? This is going to be impacting our area. Well, all day rain's really been socked us in here around the Tallahassee area. Really a gloomy day outside. But for our Thanksgiving, we'll be talking about that later in the show, that will clear up rather nicely. So this radar right now showing just a mess of storms piling on into our area. The easternmost portion of them down near Wilma right now could start impacting the Leon County, Tallahassee area in the next couple of hours or so. But as you walk outside right now, current temperatures around the area, nice comfortable 70 degrees in Tallahassee. It's a bit humid out, so it feels a lot muggier, a lot different from what we have been seeing with the drier conditions we've had over the last few weeks. But now that moisture is starting to settle back in and pile on in, so the 70s feeling a lot warmer. And that's really the story across the board. Monticello, you're the cool spot with 65 degrees right now. But as you walk outside in Tallahassee, 70 degrees, as I said before, Stormy conditions will start to pile in the overnight hours. We're going to see that band of storms move on into the area. Dew point at 67 degrees. And like I said, humidity, watch out, girls. Your hair might be frizzing just a little bit. It's 90% humidity, and the winds are quite variable at 6 miles per hour. But now if you're heading out on the water, right now or into tomorrow, the gusts, it's really just not a nice day to be heading out on the water. Wind gusts right now up to 20 knots, 15 knots, quite a bit of a chop out there. So if you're in a small craft, I would recommend just staying in port for today. Enjoy some indoor movies. It's a good movie night here in Tallahassee if you want to watch some movies with that rain piling in. So choppy waters offshore, and here's a cool graphic I'd like to talk about real quick, and this is the winds for the future, right? And also with the temperature. So the colors indicate that temperature, and the arrows, the longer the arrows, the higher the wind. So overnight tonight, you'll see that temperature dip on down, and the winds primarily from the north. And then here's where the dramatic change starts to come in with the approach of that front on into Tuesday overnight. You see the winds switch around quickly right here. This is the leading edge of the front, and then that blue indicating those cooler temperatures, and the longer arrows indicating the stronger winds will start to move into our area. But now I'd like to get on to the forecast for tonight if you're heading out to Dick Hauser Stadium for the candlelight vigil for the fallen Leon County officer. Some rainy conditions could possibly be expected, 67 degrees, and the gates will be at 6 o'clock. So if you are heading out to there, just go ahead and bring a raincoat. But for tonight, 54 is going to be our low, and then into tomorrow, 59 is our high with that rain and cloudy conditions. And here's our 7-day forecast leading on into Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving weekend. If you're heading home, Thanksgiving is going to be quite beautiful. But Paxton, what do we got going on in the rest of the Southeast?
Well, the rest of the Southeast, it's still kind of rainy out there, and it's going to be continuing into tomorrow as well. And you could see in the Big Bend area that the leading edge of the front, well, the storms associated with that is coming into the Tallahassee area, and that will be continuing to increase our rain chances throughout the night and also into tomorrow. Currently in Tallahassee, it's 70 degrees. We have 80s around the rest of the state, and there's showers everywhere as well around the whole state due to this front and the showers associated with it. And our relative humidities, the dew points, the moisture content, it is all up there right now as well. For the 24-hour temperature change, we have increased by 4 degrees in Tallahassee, and that's due to that warm front that has passed us, and we are still in the warm sector of that front as well, so we are still experiencing those warmer temperatures. But off to the west of us, you can see these blues in the cooler colors where the cold front has already passed, bringing in those cooler temperatures and that drier air as well. Dew points, like I said, they are quite high, 67 in Tallahassee. But again, where the front has already passed, we have dew points in the 30s and then in the 20s in Little Rock as well. So you can see that behind this front, there is some dry air associated with it. But right now, where all the storms are in the Big Bend region, we have all this moisture in our area, and we have this little pocket of dry air ahead of it, but that's not affecting us right now. We are in this moist area. And like Matt was saying, the humidity is quite high, so all the girls are having frizzy hair. Current winds, we have some southerly winds in the middle to lower part of the area, and then we have some northwesterly winds behind the front, which is typical when the passing of a cold front comes. Those winds, they change directions, and once the cold front passes, we will have primarily northwesterly winds. For our temperatures, you can see that they are decreasing, and we have them in Alabama and also in Tallahassee. The temperatures are continuing to decrease, and then going into tomorrow, we have 47 and 50 in our general area, and they'll continue to fall. Those morning lows and those nighttime temperatures are going to be lowering as well. And then if we take a look into tonight, we are in the mid-50s, 54 for Tallahassee. So it's going to be kind of mild out there still. The real information or the real temperatures will not be occurring until tomorrow and tomorrow night. And for tomorrow, it's going to be 58, but right now, we're just going to hand this on back over to the desk.
Thank you so much, Paxton. It was good to take a look into the whole southeast region and see where exactly that front's going.
Definitely.
Yeah, but for right now, we know we have our last home game this season, don't we?
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride if you're a Seminole fan. But we should have pretty nice weather for this classic matchup between Florida and Florida State. Just always such great games, such a huge rivalry. And I know this is going to be an exciting last game for me. How about you?
It will definitely be an exciting last game. We know that we're going to have those lower temperatures, and the sky's supposed to be a lot drier and better out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be actually, I think, pretty beautiful for the game. Shouldn't be, I don't think it's going to get above 70 for that game. What do you think?
It's not supposed to, but why don't you go ahead and give me a score? What do you think? We were a little bit off last week with 100-0, but what do you think we're seeing now?
I think it's going to be a close game. I think we're going to trail at the half, but ultimately I think we're going to pull ahead 30-24.
Okay, I think 99-0, but for right now, we'll go back to Casey with the National.
Go ahead and take a look across our nation, in fact, and as we do so, we see the weather situation here, talking about areas around Detroit to Minneapolis. There's some snow activity, quite a bit going on in toward those communities. I'll get into more detail in that area and around Denver to Billings here in just a few minutes with some localized graphical information. Current conditions-wise right now, sitting here in the metro area, pretty warm for this time of year, 70 degrees, warmer than we have been seeing across our area, but that's going to cool down as we get later into the weekend, Now, areas across our nation away from Tallahassee, they're sitting much cooler, talking about up toward Kansas City, 36 degrees, Minneapolis, 17 degrees, and up in Detroit, 39 degrees there. Now, going ahead and taking a look at your temperature change, we see cooler conditions encroaching here across the southeast and across our viewing circle. You see 23 degrees lower than 24 hours ago in Minneapolis, 8 degrees lower in Kansas City, and 15 degrees lower in San Antonio. Much cooler conditions coming our way. We have actually seen warming conditions over the past bit. You can see we do have some watches and warnings across our nation, talking about a winter storm watch across the northeast, high wind warning here across the north central, and some winter storm watches and warnings as well here as we get further to the west, which I'll go here into detail with as we go graphic by graphic, region by region, that is. We see Boston. You can see they're just right on the edge of that winter storm watch that's in effect. We're expecting a pretty significant winter storm as we get Wednesday into Thursday in toward the northeast. Some areas, especially just to the north and west of the major cities, just to the north and west of New York, just to the north and west of Washington, D.C., could see on the order of 3, 6, maybe even 12 inches of snow. So make sure, if you have any travel plans up there, just go ahead and plan ahead and just be advised that there could be some snowy conditions there. Getting out toward the central U.S., though, we see getting into areas around central Ohio and even further to the west, we see areas in toward north central. Here we have Green Bay, winter storm warning, extreme snow going on in toward much of Wisconsin right now, getting from Wausau, Wisconsin, Green Bay, down toward other communities in the state. Significant snowfall there, of course, prompting a winter storm watch for much of those areas, winter weather advisory, winter storm warning. And as we get further to the west, we see in toward Montana, you can see there is some snowy conditions just to the west of Billings right now, winter storm warnings there as well. Airport delays, not too big of a factor except for New York. There is a 53-minute delay there. Some weather conditions interfering with the airport there. But tonight, 54 degrees here in the metro area, down toward and up toward our north and west core, 41 in Atlanta. Nice conditions, at least in toward later in the week, but unfortunately we're going to have to get through some rain here over our viewing circle with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s tomorrow. But right now, I'll go ahead and take it over to your second local forecast to get more on the rain details with Daniel.
Thanks a lot, Casey. That was a real good look. You know, we look across the country, then we like to bring it back here to tell you what's going on with the local. You saw today we had a high of 76, just above our average. We had all that rain coming through, not really bringing the temperature down as low to the average. Well, currently we're at 70 degrees. Thunderstorms going in and out. You see some spots of heavy rain today, high humidity. You see the dew point 67, so you know we're really going to be clouded up. A lot of mess out there for the next few hours or so. We'll go ahead and look at our conditions. You see we are at 70 here for our temperature, sitting right around the same everywhere else. You see Monticello, probably the cold one there at 65. Not really a whole lot going on with all those clouds and rain all over our area. But we're going to go ahead, though, and look at a satellite and see exactly what's happening with this rain. Well, this rain's all coming from the front. We know we had another system move through. Now we have this front coming through feeding us rain also. You see it's pretty much past us. We might see we're going to see more rain tomorrow, unfortunately. We'll get to more of that later on. But for now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the wind speed. Well, we've calmed down. We're about 6 miles an hour. You see up there in Bainbridge is coming out of the northwest, so that's where a little bit of that change is coming from. St. Mark's, Carabel seeing a little bit of that sea breeze at 2 and 3, and we're going to go ahead and look at the futurecast. Let me step out of the way and show you what's going on right here. We're going to have this cold front pass on through rather slowly. get all that rain from flash flood risk over the next day. And as we get into later on into Tuesday, those rain chances seem to go down just a little bit. And as once we get to Wednesday, we're going to have drier conditions. So that'll be a lot better. You look behind it, not a whole lot of cloud cover, but it will be cold. Well, as far as water goes, it's not really a great day to go out in the water or go surfing. Because see, we have waves 3 to 4 feet with that wind gusting up to 20 miles an hour. So if you choose to go out in a boat, be very careful because those high gusts and waves, it's probably bigger than that out in the far Gulf. It'd probably be a lot. And unfortunately, we also have those thunderstorms coming and choppy waters offshore. You see, the sun's already set. It's already past 5:37, so that's something else that's going on. Well, damp night tonight, still raining like we've seen for the past 24 hours. 54 degrees is our low. About the same everywhere else there also. You see, we got 55 in St. Mark's, 54 in Monticello. Not too terribly much going on for our lows. Also tomorrow, unfortunately, we are going to see more of that rain, 90% chance. Not a whole lot of fun. That wind is still coming out of the north, 10 miles an hour. And the funny thing is, you see our high tomorrow is down to 59. You see that the low is going to be down to 54. I heard someone call this a squeeze day earlier today. It's pretty cool. And then you see Wednesday, that rain's going to be stopping in the morning. And as we get into Thanksgiving Day, you're going to see a low of 38, but thankfully that high is still in the 60s. And by the time we get to game day on Saturday versus Florida, we're going to see 67 degrees for a high, so very nice game day there. But as I just heard, Ian and Matt have a wonderful story to tell us.
That's right, Daniel. We do have a good story, and it's all about travel, and a lot of Thanksgiving travelers out there, especially in the next couple days.
Yeah, a good amount of travel will be occurring over the next 3 days. In fact, officials are looking into this Thanksgiving travel season as being the busiest season since 2007.
Yeah, some 41 million Americans are expected to be traveling this Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I included will be driving myself, but the weather unfortunately is not looking too great for much of the eastern part of the country.
Yeah, 3.5 million are expected to fly, and a lot of commuting issues, especially Tuesday and Wednesday of this week.
Yeah, so areas in the Pacific Northwest and the Eastern Corridor and the Midwest will be seeing a good amount of rain associated with another winter storm, but hopefully they will be taking precaution into driving for this storm.
Absolutely. That storm will be pushing out over the Thanksgiving holiday, but for now we're going to go ahead and send it on out to Casey to tell us more of what's going on around Florida.
Thanks so much, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look across the state. And unfortunately, here around the Big Bend region, for travel plans, there is a lot of rain here making its way up from the Gulf Coast here, making its way from Apalachicola and moving its way through areas around Franklin, Liberty County right now, and likely headed toward the metro area over the next couple of hours. This associated with a cold front off to our north and west here, and we do see that we're really having an impact from that in terms of precipitation here and across the state as well. We see that there was dry air, but really the wetter air has really encroached upon this. The green upper level moisture in the atmosphere, your dry air, your lower level, or really this dry air, of course, across our viewing circle and across the state. And we see that displayed in the brown color. We see the green, of course, displayed in the green color again, seeing that moisture coming through here across our area. But temperature-wise right now across our state, we see 76 in Jacksonville, but rain cooled here in Tallahassee, 70 in the metro area out toward Pensacola. They're in the upper 60s right now. Now going ahead and kind of taking a look at how this has evolved over the last 24 hours, we do see temperatures have increased just a little bit because of the warm front. In fact, we see here in the metro area a 4-degree temperature increase, in fact, here because of a warm front that had moved to the north, providing with warmer conditions here across our viewing circle. Now going ahead and taking a look wind-wise, we see the wind's not too big of a factor. If you do get an isolated thunderstorm or so, you could see a little bit of a factor in terms of those maybe increasing on the order of 30-40 miles an hour, but generally winds only 6 miles an hour here, 10 miles an hour here down toward Tampa, and 9 miles an hour in the Orlando area. Now getting to the radar, one of the most important things you probably want to see here this afternoon is seeing what time you can go out, what time you can't go out. You can see we do have significant rainfall now making its way in toward Liberty County here, out toward areas like Wilma, getting into some heavy rainfall there. Out toward the east is Jefferson County, some rain moving there, and out toward even further east, Columbia County, up and toward southeast Georgia, there's some rain in toward those communities. That would go downstate, really nice conditions, talking about Sarasota to to Tampa to Fort Myers to Vero Beach. Great weather conditions there. That is going to change, though, as there will be some rain making it down toward that area, though, as well. You see on the Futurecast rainfall, we see if you have travel plans to go downstate, across the state, it's going to be pretty wet, unfortunately, traveling for Thanksgiving. We do see Tallahassee may be picking up on the order of 2 inches of rain here across our area. You can kind of see Interstate 10, Interstate 75 could be a pretty rainy commute over the next couple of days here across our state. Though temperature-wise, pretty nice, 54 tonight. Tomorrow we'll be seeing temperatures not warming up too much because of that rain. They'll warm up a lot more downstate as the front has passed through. Right now, though, let's go over and take it to Ian with a look at winter weather.
Yeah, we have a winter weather update. A good amount of snowfall is occurring in much of the Midwest right now, and I know a lot of them are already sick of the winter weather, but unfortunately it's going to continue as we move on throughout the week. We have current snow cover. We had 50% of the country, over 50% of the country in snow cover earlier this last week. Here right now we have a good amount of snow cover over the Rockies, and you see areas of northern U.S., but for the most part, areas to the east have now rained out pretty much and got rid of all their snow cover. Currently right now, temperatures are looking rather moderate. You can see up to Boston, 63 degrees, not so bad. As you look down Tallahassee, you have 70 degrees, but the north, unfortunately, is dealing with a good amount of rain associated with a winter storm, snow. At Minneapolis, 17 degrees right now with a steady snowfall. So them up in the north, they're going to be getting more snow as we continue. Wind chill shows it's cold, 0 degrees in Minneapolis, factor in that wind, and they are feeling frigid there. 30 in Kansas City, you have 22 in Denver, 35 in Albuquerque, but for the most part, that wind is definitely bringing those temperatures, making them a lot worse for them out there. So cold conditions for them. Now, with the wintry precip, we have a good amount happening in Colorado. You can see they're dealing with nice southerly or northerly flow from the Arctic blast, bringing in some good snow, especially higher in the higher elevations. As we move off towards the east, you can see associated with this system, there is a good amount of snowfall behind where that Arctic air has blasted behind. You can see this, there is rain towards its east, but that is going to quickly change for areas of Michigan, where they're going to be getting more snowfall. They were dealing with that lake effect snow earlier. Now they're going to be getting another good set of snow occurring with this winter storm here. And pushing off into the rest of the country, you see that rather dry conditions for much of the southeast, but you got that winter storm up to the northeast that is going to be creating some unfortunate conditions for driving in the northeast coming into early Thanksgiving prior to that. Futurecast shows that that winter storm is going to continue to move off towards the east, bringing precipitation in the form of snow for areas in, unfortunately, New York, where they've already seen a solid amount of snow. As we move on into Wednesday, that will continue off to push, and you can see drier conditions towards the south. Tonight's forecast shows cold temperatures for the north. We have rather mild temperatures for area in the southeast, with temperatures in the mid-40s, 50s, but that will continue to get cool off as we move on into the week. We have temperatures tomorrow dealing with rather mild, but it's going to be rainy in much of the southeast with that snowfall pushing towards the east in the upper part of the country. Tomorrow's night's forecast shows that it's going to be a cold one, even colder than it was tonight for much areas. You can see colder temperatures for areas all around. But we are going to be looking into these winter weather for your travel plans for Thanksgiving, as we are dealing with a good amount of snow for areas and lots of rain, really, for areas along the eastern coast. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. We've got a lot of, we're going to talk more about those travel conditions up here, at least along the I-95 corridor, going all the way up to Maine.
Yeah, they have a solid amount of rain associated with that winter storm that I was talking about. This will be making roads nice and icy and slick, which is something that people unfortunately do not look forward to for driving towards Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. This will be one of the big, first big snowstorms for the Northeast, especially the metro areas of the Northeast. So anybody who's traveling up there, definitely heed cautions on the road, because it might be slipping around a little bit.
Yeah, so definitely take precaution. Alert your family and friends that these conditions will not be so great for much of the eastern part of the country where many people will be traveling to. But we are going to send it off to Paxton with more.
Thank you. Currently, it is 70 degrees out on campus. It's going to continue to drop a little bit throughout the remainder of the night. Not too much, but it is thunderstorming. Those showers are still out there, and it's kind of cloudy out there as well. And that will not be letting up within the next 12 to 16 hours. Around the Big Bend region, we have all these showers throughout the whole day. We are pretty much being hammered right here in Tallahassee by rain non-stop since Saturday. Nothing too great for us out there. We have umbrellas and ponchos and rain boots continuing throughout the past 3 days, and that will most likely be the case again tomorrow. Around our region once more, it's 70 in Tallahassee. Again, that will be decreasing as we go throughout the night to about the mid-50s. Not that much of a change, but the real changes will be coming tomorrow night and into Wednesday. The dew points are quite high. 67 Tallahassee is about the upper 60s in the whole Big Bend region. So you can just see how moist our air is, and the relative humidity is quite high, hence all the rain that's in our atmosphere and in our area. For the futurecast winds, we have some clockwise flow off the East Coast, and we have just pretty much a big jumble of winds in the Gulf of Mexico. And as that front passes, you can see the temperatures, they're starting to decrease, and the frontal system is changing those winds as well, making them more northwesterly once the cold front passes, bringing in stronger winds, northwesterly winds, and also cooler temperatures. For tonight, it's going to be 54 in Tallahassee. 50% chance of rain, and again, it's going to be mostly cloudy, and it's going to be raining after midnight specifically. And that rain, again, it will not be letting up going into tomorrow. So make sure if you have any plans, make sure you bring your rain boots and your umbrellas with you as well. For our travel planner, we have a cloudy start tomorrow morning. And it's going to be a little cool, 54. And then it's going to be raining by lunch at 56. And that's going to be a high temperature for the day tomorrow. So you know the cold front is passing when our high is in the 50s tomorrow and when it's in the 70s today. And going into tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be 54. And you can see the rain is continuing to persist throughout the day tomorrow. But if you do have plans to leave our area, make sure you exercise caution while driving. And don't speed, because hydroplaning is a real issue for that time when all this rain is about. For tomorrow, we have a 90% chance of rain. Our high is 59. Wednesday, 40% chance of rain. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the most important days this week. It'll be nice and sunny. We have Thanksgiving on Thursday. And then Saturday, we have that fun UF game, which we will be victorious, be 29-0. I'm not sure, but we'll be up there. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we have these 30-degree temperatures as our lows going into the weekend as well. But right now, we're just going to hand this on over to the desk for one last segment.
Thanks, Paxton. Yeah, you were talking about the unfortunate rainfall we're going to be getting into the night as that cold front passes, which will be persisting through, I'm sure, most people's travel plans going back home somewhere in Florida. Where are you heading off to, Matt?
I'm heading back down to Fort Lauderdale tomorrow. I'm driving home. I'm not really looking forward to it because it's probably going to be raining and everyone's heading home, so the roads are going to be stuffed. Drive carefully, folks out there, because it's going to be a wet day all the way across the state. Yeah,
definitely be a defensive driver if you were planning on driving tomorrow night, because road conditions aren't good, and with the amount of cars on the road, that's not going to make anything any easier. But fortunately, you have Thanksgiving to look forward to, and hopefully your family, and a lot of good food, because that's what I'm excited about.
I'm really excited for the food. I'm especially excited for that turkey, of course, but the stuffing... Stuffing's my favorite.
Yeah, it's all about the stuffing.
Yeah.
Let's be real, it's underrated.
Yeah, and you know what? Stuffing is great, but that 7-day forecast is even better.
Yeah.
Except for the tomorrow and Wednesday one.
Yeah, ignore the first 2 days. But look, Thanksgiving looks great. 63 degrees with a low 38. A little bit of a cold drop off, but in the afternoon it's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to check us out at any time, you can like us on Facebook at FSU Weather. Follow us on Twitter as well at FSU Weather. And if you want to watch us at any time, you can watch us on livestream.com/FSU Weather.
Yeah, but, you know, we are going to be looking forward to Thanksgiving. I hope that you had a great weekend, or had a great weekend prior, but we're looking forward to this upcoming week, and I just want a break. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm ready for a break. I'm ready to head home, see my family, give them all a big hug, and eat a lot of food. I'm really excited for food.
Yeah.